My last video was the first 5 basics. This is what I'd add next if you live in an apartment and you want options when things get weird. Just the next layer after the basics. And yes, somehow this ends up with me building myself a grown man litter box. Last video was about the first 5 basics: water, power, light, meds, and a bag or something to put them in. So after you have all the basics covered, then the game changes a little bit. You can stop worrying about the obvious and start worrying about things that make small problems turn into larger problems. So let's start with comms and communication. This is the Aluance HA2. First thing I like, top knob. Fast channel changes, no nonsense. And once I named the channels through Bluetooth, it got way easier to move through. Then you've got your NOAA weather. That alone makes more sense to me than half the fake tactical junk people buy first. Bluetooth programming is also huge because I do not enjoy menu surfing or programming it through the computer. Then the compass. This is a cool feature. Not the reason I'd buy it, but still pretty cool. FM radio too, which honestly is just kind of fun. Then you start getting into APRS and GMRS territory, deeper rabbit hole, separate video coming soon. But this right here matters to me way more immediately. USB-C charging. If it charges off my normal backup power, I'm in. This is a ham radio, and the FCC requires a license to transmit on the amateur radio service.
Coward! Duct tape that antenna to a broomstick and let's talk to Japan already!
So this is what I mean by the next layer. Not just tactical cool gear for the sake of it. After the basics, I want another way to get information. I want to be able to communicate, especially if my phone becomes useless. I'm not going to go full radio goblin on you in this video. I got that one coming down the line. So let's jump into a couple small things that people usually skip that are way more important than they think it is. This is the stuff nobody gets excited about until the exact second they need it. Ready.gov basically says keep important documents protected and portable. So for me, this starts with the boring stuff, copies of what actually matters. And yeah, with something like a passport, you may want a copy instead of risking the original. That part depends on you. The point is, don't let your whole life live in one dying rectangle on your phone. Map goes in. Transit card because I live in an urban environment. Insurance card, stuff that still works when your phone doesn't. Contacts, addresses, backup info, the stuff people assume they'll just look up, that's going in. And cash in small bills because you might need to buy something. Spare keys because spare keys. And now all of that lives in one waterproof grab-and-go pouch.
See, I keep all my important paperwork in one system. It's called duct tape. What do I get off? Get it off me! Get it off me!
This whole layer is basically friction control. Locked out of your apartment, phone died, can't remember somebody's phone number, can't figure out an address, can't pay for something simple. None of it is sexy, but all of it can save your from having a really bad day. Now, let's get into the weird one. Everybody pictures emergency sanitation as toilet paper. That's cute. Waste management is the actual system. Wipes first, then cleanup stuff. Gloves, duh. And yes, I picked the good smelling bags because this is already a bad situation. Same with the kitty litter. Dignity matters, my friend. And now we build the bucket of shame. Washington State public health guidance says that if your toilet won't flush or the sewage system isn't working, you can line a toilet or use a 5-gallon bucket with plastic bags. Add absorbent material like kitty litter or something similar, and keep used bags away from kids and pets until proper disposal is possible. So, bag in bucket and lock it down so it's not flopping around like a bad plan. Then we add litter in the bottom for absorbent and odor control. and maybe a little bit more litter, just to be safe. A little aggressive, but okay. Then, once it's used, wipes. Don't forget to wipe, front to back. Into the bucket we go. Then we sanitize. Then cut it open and it's time to remove the liner. Gloves on. Eventually. Tie it off. Spray everything down. Twice. 3 times. 4 times. Keep it as contained as possible. This is not glamorous. This is not tactical. It is not cool. But if plumbing gets weird, this is way smarter than pretending toilet paper alone is a plan. You don't want to poop on your poop on your poop over and over again in your house. Build it, store it, hope you never need it.
Zip ties? Really? Duct tape exists, Clark. I thought I taught you better than this. No! I'm not fine.
Being prepared gets awkward way before it becomes tactical. And this is one of those things that may sound really weird, but comes up super clutch if you really need it. And okay, it looks dumb, but if your plumbing goes out, it's gonna get real immediately. All the pun intended. So let's jump into something that feels extra until smoke becomes the whole problem. This is not the first thing that I would buy. Once the basics are handled though, this is one of those premium apartment-specific items that actually makes sense and gives you all the feels. Because in a real apartment emergency, sometimes the problem is just smoke. Smoke in the hallway, bad air, burning eyes, bad visibility, nasty exit. See these plugs? They matter. Both have to come out, otherwise it doesn't work. Draeger says that the Para escape hood is for respiratory and eye protection against carbon monoxide, combustion gases, toxic vapors, particles, and smoke, with at least 15 minutes to escape to safety. The keyword is escape, not hang around, not fight fire, escape. Pretty legit.
All right, yeah, that one's fair. But I'm still putting 1 strip of duct tape over the filter for morale.
Okay, so the first 5 basics first. Then you can jump into this layer. Comms, documents, spare keys, cash, friction control, and get a dedicated sanitation system. Also, you can get you an apartment-specific safety tool if you want to go further. Now, I'm going to be doing a deep dive on this radio in a radio stress test coming soon. I'm going to compare it to the Baofeng, not the Biofang, and other radios and see what works best for normal people like me and you. Also, big news. For people who want deeper dives and want to look behind the scenes and maybe give me insight on what we should do for future videos, I've got something coming soon. So stay tuned for that. All right, everybody, stay sharp, stay steady, and like always, stay ready. Clark, out.